Hi everyone, I am America Koryasuk and today I'm going to be walking you through the college application process. So first, I recommend building a college list with safety, match, and reach schools. Safety schools are schools that you know for sure that you're getting in. They might have already sent you an offer. Match schools are ones that, based on research, they show that people with their statistics have gotten in. And then reach schools are schools that are harder to get in general for anybody possible still. Things to consider when you're making this list. It's the type of majors they offer, the academic programs. Some people really like nursing, so they look for schools to offer a good nursing program, or marine science, neurology, aerospace, all of that. You want to know the location if you want to be close to home or far. Cost and financial aid. You want to know the campus size and class size. Some schools have classes that are more than 70 people in it, and in other less than 30. So you really want to know what works best for you. And then the acceptance rate, of course. You want to know whether they have sports. Maybe being a big football fan is really it's going to be really impactful on yourself, but it's important to not make that the only thing you're considering. Also, transportation. If you do not have a car and you're not going to stay at home where someone can drive you around, it's really important that the city where you're staying in, the city where you're going to college, has good transportation in case of any emergency. You know how to get around. Each school has its own requirements. Most of them are the same, but you have to be careful and check that they you include everything that they ask for, like which application format do they accept, if they accept Common App or Collation, or if they only prefer their school's own application. You have to check whether they require essays, recommendation letters, or if they are ACT and SAT optional, meaning if they require you to submit their scores or not. Most state schools require you to submit your scores, so it's really important you have those ready and done. Then you want to look at their deadlines. Most of them have the same ones: November 15, March 15, and then decide on May 1st. There's early action, early decision. The difference between these two is that early action, you have only applied and then later you can decide if you want to go there, if they accept you or not. An early decision is, once you apply, is you're binding yourself to the school, because if they accept you, you've already decided that you're going to go there. Regular decision is regular decision, and rolling action is, whereas after the regular decision deadline, and it depends, it's in name, it's rolling, like you can continue going on. You have a little bit more time to evaluate if you want to apply to that school. Not all schools offer that choice, so really make sure. So these are the three main application forms. There is the Common App, which is the most popular application platform in the US. And then there's the College Edition app, that is a smaller app, but it's focused on first generation students. And then, of course, there's the school specific applications, and those are more specific in their questions and essays, and they're directly to the school, but there's no actual difference. They're not full in research. There's no an actual difference. They calculate the same. Like, they don't give the kids who apply through the school any big advantage for applying directly to the school. So you just make sure you find the one that's more adequate for yourself. Okay, so the Common App can be found in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. It is a literal app. It is used by 1,000 colleges, including most state universities, Ivy League schools, small and large private schools. They ask for personal information, activities, honors, awards, an essay, and then a little questions, and then maybe even side essays. You only need to fill out your quest. You only need to fill out a questionnaire about yourself once. Then you can send it to multiple colleges. You can track deadlines, recommendations, and submissions. The Common App does allow teachers or coaches to directly upload their recommendations electronically, and you can send it to them through there. So it is very easy to work it that way. So the Colletition app is a website. You do have to go through it directly from their website. I do have that there pasted. It is used by less schools, but it's still around 150 colleges. Most of the Ivy Leagues, large public schools, and a lot of liberal art colleges. They also ask for personal information, activities, honors, awards, essays, and the built key features is that they do support first generations and lower income students, and they have a strong focus on equity. They have a simpler design, and they have a locker tool to store documents and achievements. So in each application, there's going to be five major sections that you're going to have to enter. First, there's your personal information with your name, your address, your phone number, how to contact you, your date of birth, your location of birth, if you're a citizen, if you are a resident, what state of. Um, there's also family information. You do have to put things about your both parents, even if not presented, or of your guardians. And you have to put their background education. So it's going to be really important that you talk to your parents about this. There is an option to out of that, but it's a little bit more complicated. So high school and academic info, all the high schools you've attended. If you only attended one, then don't worry about it. Your GPA, your unweighted and weighted, your courses that you have taken, and the courses that you are taking. If you're applying your junior year, you have to also put down the ones you're going to plan to take your senior year. If you are applying your senior year, put down the ones you are taking on that year specifically. And then your intended major, what do you want to go in as? If you do not have a major in mind, you could go as undecided. Most colleges accept that. Also mention your activities and clubs, sports, jobs, volunteering, family responsibilities, hobbies, leadership roles. And for each activity, you'll include your role and position, your organization name, the hours per week and weeks per year, description, and a description of what you did. Okay, so these apps both require you to have an essay, and most schools require you to submit an essay. The essay is around 650 words. They all have different prompts, but the most impactful ones, the most repeated, are the a life experience that shaped you, a challenge you faced, and a story sharing your growth. There's also little ones who there are school specific supplement questions. Some colleges add their own questions, such as why this college, and small community questions. So be prepared to explain why you want that school, and some colleges also ask why you want your major or what things have you done throughout your life to decide on that location. They're really specific sometimes, but it all depends on where you're applying. And then you have to focus on recommendations. Lots of schools require you to have at least two recommendations, and then there's some that don't require you to have any and don't even allow you to submit any. So you really have to look at what you need. Make sure you send these out at an appropriate time. You do not want to have your teachers rushing. It's not their responsibility. It's not their fault you did it a week before they were due. So you only during this process you only need to add their email addresses in the app and they'll receive it. It's also important that you talk to your teachers if you can in person, or your mentors in person, your coaches, whoever you ask. There is an application fee. Most schools have it. They range from $0 to 100, but it's usually 25 to 100. Um, most schools have the most expensive ones, but in the Common App and the Colliation app, they do offer fee waivers. So depending on your tax bracket range, all you got to do is go through the app, look at the information, check if you qualify for it, and then sign up for it, and it should be automatically applied to every single school you apply to. Also important to consider that the Common App only allows you to apply to 20 schools, which is a lot, but just in case you didn't know, so you're not going out randomly and applying for every single school. You're going to apply to apply 20, if not, you'll do each individually. Okay, these are some key things to keep in mind. You want to order your transcripts. It's the same thing as recommendations. You do it before time. Don't be rushing your guidance counselor. Um, of course, you have to ask your guidance counselor. You have to go to the office wherever you meet them, talk to them. They will send it out to the school. They will send out your official transcript, and then if talk to them if they will be sending your final transcript as well. Then you want to submit test scores. If your school requires ACT and SAT, you want to send them appropriate amount of time too. Don't wait. It's really important that you do not wait for 2 days before the deadline in any of these things. And then you want to make sure you have your financial forms completed so when the schools receive your application, they can give you back how much money they would give you, like your FAFSA, your CSS profile. And it's important that you do these as soon as possible because some of these are first come, first served. And it's also important that you apply for scholarships. There's some local, nationally, and even school specific or race specific. There's a lot of scholarships out there. Just look for the ones that apply to you, and you'll find them. Okay, so before you hit submit to your application, you want to double check that you have your essays attached, that you check their grammar, that you have everything you need in there, that your activities list is complete, and that recommendations are submitted. And you want to make sure you have your major selected correctly because it is a little bit difficult to change your major afterwards. Possible, but a little bit more work. And then after you're going to be waiting for your decisions. Decisions usually come like depending if you did early, they'll come December and January. If you did regular, it'll come March and April, I mean. And then you do have to decide by May 1st where you're attending college. Then you want to commit and prepare for college. You do have to commit by May 1st, like I said. You have to submit a deposit. Most schools have their own deadline. Some schools, even it's just 5 days after the national commitment day, so you really have to get on your pace. After you commit to the school, there's so much things you have to do. Fill out housing application forms. There's some schools that don't have housing for every single student that's there, so important you fill that out soon as you can, so you get a housing. If not, you're gonna have to rent an apartment out of the campus. Submit immunization records. If you do not have any shots, go to the doctors, get them immediately. Get them paced out so you don't get lots of shots in the same week. But then you want to send your final high school transcript. Like I told you, if you talked to your counselor before, there's nothing you have to worry about. If you didn't, then you have to call your school to send it to them because it's automatically from school to school, not from you to the school. I want to wish you guys the best of luck and thank you so much.